Good morning everyone. So here we are at round number 11. So for the purpose of the tutorial I'm going to be continuing with this option of the flower round, but I mean if you want to continue with the other one, this one which was option B, well you have exactly the same stitch count, so you'll just carry on round number 11. And the little faces, I was going to call them round 11, but in fact we can just call it an embellishment round for this second option. So yesterday was a completely lost day of video making. Seeing as my neighbour across the road, who is pretty much the bane of my existence, decided to install an electric gate, one of those sort of motorized gates in front of his driveway, and there was a terrible amount of noise, I can't tell you, with angle grinding into concrete and all sorts of other weird things. So I lost an entire day of video making, which made me very irritable and cross, and my husband very kindly came to the rescue and took me out for dinner because I was really too cross to cook even. Anyhow, so we're going to launch straight into round number 11. Okay, it's a nice easy round. It's the beginning of going into your back loops. Now the reason that I am going to be doing this quite a lot in this tutorial is because in other patterns that I've done, I've often embellished at the end with slip stitches to highlight certain parts of the pattern, and then I discovered that actually I can just work into the back loops and then it'll automatically be done. So it was like killing two birds with one stone, although I don't like that expression. It was crocheting two stitches with one hook. Okay, so enough of the idle chit chat and let's get to it. So what you're going to do is you're going to work a half double crochet into the back loops, I call them the bloops, of every stitch. Okay, so you're going right into those back loops, and I'm going back of the back loops. So I'm going to start with chain 2, which is equal to 1 half double crochet, and then I'm going to be working into those. Okay, so what I wanted to mention as well is that this is not so much a tutorial as a guide, just to kind of show you where the stitches go. It's very, very difficult to explain, even in pictures, in a written pattern, sometimes where things go. So you're going to carry on with this round. You're going to just make sure that you're counting 5, 5, 5, and you're making sure that you're going into those 5 double crochets that you did in the previous round, and that you're working into the back loops, and I shall see you at the end, and just make sure you have 80 of those half double crochet into the back loops of the double crochets from the previous round, and I shall see you at the end of round 11. Okay, so we're on to round number 12, and you've gone and completed all your half double crochets into those back loops, and you've got a nice little ridge going on there. And now, again, for the purpose of this tutorial, which as I said before wasn't really meant to be a complete from start to finish tutorial, but really more as a way to show you exactly where you need to go. So what you're going to do is you're going to find one of your little dolly heads. I'm calling them dolly heads, although there are 6 treble cluster. And now you need to find kind of a corresponding joining space. So when you were doing these half double crochets, you were going into the double crochet into the back loops, and you're doing that in sets of 5. So kind of you can use stitch markers if you like, or you can use pieces of your yarn. You can just tie them into but not into every 5 spaces. You basically want to go into every 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this is where you're going to start your next round. And you're going to start with a standing single crochet, or in fact I'm going to start with a standing single crochet, and then you're going to yarn over 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to do a puff. So it's a puff, yarn over 4 times, and then chain 1 to close. Okay, then you're going to do another chain 1, and you're going to do that again. Now the reason that I yarn over before I begin is because I actually watched a tutorial from Spanish ladies who were doing puff stitches, and they yarn over, but I've noticed also with some instructors that they don't yarn over first before they go into the puff. But I've got used to that. So I'm going to go 1, just try and get that out the way, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to do 4 of these, separated by a chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3, 4 into that joining space, and you're going to chain 1 to close. Okay, and don't worry too much about those stitches that are covered there. It is going to be a bit of a squash. You're actually not going to really use those stitches. Then you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to do a half double crochet front post over those chain 6s. So I'm going to kind of be working underneath that single crochet at the top that you did way back then. Okay, like that. So it kind of looks a little bit untidy at this point. Let me just get the yarn out the way there. But it all sorts itself out eventually. So 1, 2, 3, yarn over, and just make sure that you do have your 10 stitches, your 10 half double crochets to the back loops between. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there's one hiding in there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and I'm going to go straight into there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And the purpose of doing it this way is it helps. You're going to basically have those stitches kind of, so you're going to start creating your kind of relief work. You go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, 4. One, and I have got around all the way, and I'm on my chain 3s, last chain 3s, and then you're just going to slip stitch into the top of that puff to close off, and that's round number 12 done and dusted. So now we're going to launch straight into okay, if you like, you just want me to recap quickly. Okay, okay, so you're going to be working into every joining space after 10 half double crochets. You're going to be doing your 4 puffs with a chain 1 in between, your chain 3s, half double crochet, front posts around the top of those 6 trebles together, and there you go. Okay, so go all the way around, and end of round number 12. So now we're going to go into round number 13, and round number 13, let's see if we can find a nice color. I'm going to go for Meadow. So Meadow is Stylecraft Special DK, and with this round we're going to be working into those half double crochet posts in half double crochet stitches into the back loops. Okay, so here we have Meadow. Just in case you're following this color, you know, I thought I'd do it in a different colorway because then I'll have 4 of these in different colorways. So I'm doing this as much for myself as I am for all of you. So now here's another tip. You have 10 half double crochets here, but because you've gone and squeezed those puffs into those spaces, they're kind of overlapping the beginning ones, which is just as well, because you're going to be working into only 6 of the half double crochets. So you're going to miss the first 2, miss the last 2, and the best way to count is not from there but from here. So you're going to skip those 2 half double crochets, you're going to skip those 2, okay, and you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're going to be starting, you're going to work, and again there are crocheters out there that are far more technically proficient than I am, but I'm going to start off with a chain 2 front post. I'm calling it that, and that's just the way things are. And I'm just going to move that to the back so that it doesn't get in my way. Okay, now we're going to do 6 half double crochets over those half double crochet front posts over the half double. Goodness me. One thing I will say about Stylecraft yarns is they're very slippery. You don't really hang on to your. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you should have 2 remaining. Okay, so you'll have 2 at the beginning, 2 at the end, and you've worked into those middle 6, which is your 10 stitches. Then what you're going to do is you're going to do a half double front post over your first puff and chain 1. Okay, like that. Okay, chain 1. Chain 1. Chain 1. There we go. Okay, so that's where you're going to do those. So you're going to do a half double crochet front post over your puffs, and you're going to do 1 half double crochet front post over 6 of those half double crochets that you did into the back loops, and you're just going to carry on like that all the way around. You're immediately going to okay, so I haven't sewn in my ends, but basically you're going to have something like that. Okay, very simple. So you're working into doing a half double crochet front posts over those half double crochets into the back loops, and you're doing that over the puffs. Okay, so I'm going to launch straight into round number 14, and round number 14 is super duper easy. You're going to be working a single crochet into the back loops. You're going to hate me, into the bloops, as I call them, but they're so effective. I actually love working with them, so even if they are a pain, they're absolutely worth it. So you're going to be working, and this is where you're going to start. Okay, so when you have a stitch